What is up, everybody? It is today. I'm still me, and you are still you. Let's see what we got. All right, everybody. So basically, we got some good old Dr. Crimmy's V-Liquid here is what we're vaping on, and got a couple of those 125 milliliters. Basically, if you are paying more than $30 for 125 milliliters, then you're probably paying too much. You should go check Dr. Crimmy's out. If you're not paying that much, but your vape is not good, you may want to check drcrimmys.com and order some from them. Excellent deal. They have great customer service. They even have a Facebook group, which makes it very personal, and that makes it even better. Anyway, what I'm going to show you is basically tanks that I started with, tanks that I have used, and that I do use every day now. Just go ahead and jump to the end and tell you basically at this point what I do use every day, kind of back and forth, is UD Agati 7, and then I also have a Orchid version 2. So Orchid version 2 and the UD Agati 7. Those are pretty much what I use every day. Along the way, basically at this point, the mod that I use is a DNA 30. My first actual mod was an MVP2. It was great. I still have the innards of it, and I still have the whole thing, but basically I dropped it. I didn't know what happened to it. The other thing that may have even happened, I'm not positive, but I do know that A, I dropped it on the tile, so that may have done it. And B, I think that also maybe the switch, there's a switch on there that you switch on and off whether or not you want to charge out of that USB port so you can charge other stuff or whatever. I'm thinking maybe that was turned on while I was charging it at one point. I was on a road trip and things were kind of discombobulated and whatnot. So I'm wondering if maybe, because it got real hot. So I'm thinking that maybe that also happened, but it may just have been from dropping it. I did find out after I took it apart, I connected it to a regular 18650 battery. Basically the battery was messed up on it because connected to a regular 18650, the innards of it still work. So, and I vaped on it once just for grins with just all the wiry mess part of it, which you probably shouldn't do, but anyway, so the MVP that I got, which most of you know, it comes with this iClear 30 and this silly nonsense on the top that I guess some people might like that. I don't like it. So what I'll tell you is I messed with this iClear 30 for quite a while. Something I'm probably, I keep saying I'm going to make a video about this. I know some people still use this, and I rebuilt mine, made it to a single coil. I've even used cotton instead of silica as wicking material. I did take one of these cheap little Clearomizer. These are the same threads as that silly pivoty one that it comes with. I cut the top, this part of it here down to the proper size to where it just seals against that rubber part in there. Way better. A, it doesn't pivot all around. B, it's shorter. And D, or C, it's got way bigger intake on it, which you probably can't see on the video. So anyway, the iClear 30, I did use it a lot. I messed around with it. You can rebuild it. It's kind of, I've seen videos. I don't know necessarily on the iClear 30, but on basically there's two insulators. So you got a lower insulator and an upper insulator. I'm going to go ahead and make a video real soon, I promise, about how to actually do that if you don't know already. So anyway, that was the main tank that I used for a little while, and it worked real good. It came with that MVP2. I did, while I still had the MVP, I think I think I bought this UD next, this AGA T7, and then I put it away and I didn't use it anymore. And I'll tell you why, is because it leaked, like I've talked about in other videos, and I'm sure you know, when you fill it, it always leaks out of the air intake. And that's why in the other video I talked about the way I fill it and stuff like that. And this is still one of the ones I use every day. This and that Orchid V2. So, you know, I've had I got one of these mini pro tanks that was Ego style. I don't have an Ego battery anymore. I gave it to a friend of mine who quit smoking and he vapes now. I have some just terribly disgusting, I don't even know what that juice is in there anymore. I think it was a mixture of some nasty backup stuff that I had, and I will be totally dumping that out. But that's Pro Tank 2, I believe. And I do like both of these. This works great on the Ego. And this mini Pro Tank, even on my DNA 30, that works real good. I just rebuild the coils on these instead of buying new ones. I'm not down for that. But after I got this UD, I got this Russian 91% black one. And the main, I like the build on this and the quality of this and everything, but it just does not have enough airflow for me. I mean, even looking back, this Pro Tank 2 has just as good airflow as this Russian does. So, I mean, the flavor is way better on this Russian, but it's just not really enough. And that's why even after I got that Russian, I used it a little bit, but I went ahead and went back to this UD AGA T7. And once I figured out how to do it without it leaking, which if you go back and watch the other video, you'll see that. Other people have talked about it. But if you get it to where it don't leak, this thing rocks. And if you are a person that likes this Orchid, they're not similar, but I'll tell you the big difference is, and you can tell if I just show you like this, the UD AGA T7 has way more airflow, more than twice, and this Orchid is still a little tight for me. It's almost perfect, but not quite. It needs to be a little airier for me. But all in all, I do like this, except for mine has the Allen grub screws in it, and they suck. So I think I can't remember. Basically, I have the same build in these. These are both at a 0.9, I believe. And I have the double barrel style build in this UD right now. And it's questionable. It's different whether you put them over and under like they talk about, or if you double barrel it. It's different, and they're both good. So anyway, that's you know, lots of the tanks that I've been through, and most of them have been great. Like I said, the main one that I use now, UD AGA T7, and that Orchid version 2. I do have a couple drippers that I use occasionally, and one of them is a UD. It's IGO W, and I pretty much just use that for dual coil builds. I've drilled it out on both sides, and obviously that's not controllable, so it's just dual builds in there normally. And then the other thing I use is this Mephisto here. So I for the most part use a tank, so I don't sit around and drip all day. Usually I try to be moving around and doing stuff, so a tank obviously works a lot better in that situation. So anyway, yeah, what I might do is go ahead and break down this UD and this AGA T7 and this Orchid. I've been switch hitting on both of them for the past week or so, and it feels like maybe my cotton is burnt in the Orchid. I run them both at 20 watts normally, with a 0.9 coil in there. Obviously, guys, I'm using the best batteries, or you know, good batteries. I'm using a Panasonic battery, and got a couple LG HE2s. So make sure you're using good batteries if you're doing anything crazy. I usually don't build anything lower than a 0.5 for the most part. So, you know, that's that. Alright, everybody, that's pretty much going to do it for today. So make sure you comment, like, rate, subscribe, share, all that stuff, or maybe just one of those things, would be awesome. And I will see you next time. So until then, I'll see you then.